Hi folks, this is Tony for aminutemidnight.com, bringing you a short video update on artificial intelligence and tracking it in relation to the BEAST system, which is being put into place quite rapidly, I believe. And I think you'll find some of these developments are particularly of interest as we go further and further into this system. I'm sure pretty much everyone listening will be familiar with Revelation chapter 13, where it talks about from verse 16 to 18, he causes all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and slave, to receive a mark on their right hand or on their foreheads. And the King James Version says in their foreheads, by the way, and that no one may buy or sell except one who has the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. Here is wisdom, let him who has understanding calculate the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, his number is 666. So let's have a look at a White House government AI website. It is called Artificial Intelligence for the American People, and I will just look at some of it briefly. I won't go into everything, it's quite comprehensive. Here's an overview. The age of artificial intelligence has arrived and is transforming everything from healthcare to transportation to manufacturing. America has long been the global leader in this new era of AI and is poised to maintain this leadership going forward because of our strong innovation ecosystem. Realizing the full potential of AI for the nation requires the combined efforts of industry, academia, and government. The administration has been active in developing policies and implementing strategies that accelerate AI innovation in the US, and so on it goes. President Trump, you can see across here, says, continued American leadership in artificial intelligence is of paramount importance to maintaining the economic and national security of the United States. On February the 11th, 2019, President Trump signed Executive Order 13859 announcing the American AI Initiative, the United States National Strategy on Artificial Intelligence, and it directs the federal government to pursue 5 pillars for advancing AI. 1. Invest in AI research and development. 2. Unleash AI resources. 3. Remove barriers to AI innovation. 4. Train an already workforce. And 5. Promote an international environment that is supportive of American AI innovation and its responsible use. We go down here, but it says on February 2020, the White House released the American Artificial Intelligence Initiative Year 1 report, annual report. In the year since the AI executive order was signed, the administration called for record amounts of AI R&D investment. There was an AI summit in September 2019, and there's a whole lot more. You can go here, the various things. I just want to skip down a bit. Key agencies, you can see who they all are. Okay, now I just want to skip down to here, computing infrastructure for AI R&D, and we'll go down a bit. The United States is a world leader in the development of high-performance computing infrastructure that supports AI research. In June 2018, the US Department of Energy introduced the Summit Scientific Supercomputer at Oak Ridge National Laboratory. We skip down a little bit further, we'll see here in May 2019, DOE announced plans to build the Frontier Supercomputer, which is expected to debut in 2021 as the world's most powerful computer that maintains US leadership in high-performance computing and AI. Now I just skip down to number 5 here. AI with American values. The United States has long been a champion and defender of the core values of freedom, guarantees of human rights, the rule of law, stability in our institutions, right to privacy, respect for intellectual property, and opportunities to all to pursue their dreams. The AI technologies we develop must also reflect these fundamental American values and our devotion to helping people. Our goal is to ensure that AI technologies are understandable, trustworthy, robust, and safe. I found it interesting that it mentions the rule of law, which those of us who have been around for a while will remember George Bush Sr. using that term in his New World Order speech. But basically the Trump administration is committed to promoting an international environment that supports AI R&D, and the United States is leading in a number of international activities that promote trust in and adoption of AI technologies. And we have Pope Francis and the Vatican also playing a role in the policing of values supposedly for artificial intelligence, which will be very interesting to see where this all leads.
The president of Microsoft visited the Pope at the Vatican. It was a private 30-minute meeting in which Brad Smith explained some possible uses of artificial intelligence for the common good.
We appreciate your voice.
Noi apprezziamo molto le sue parole.
We do feel this is really a critical moment in time.
Ci sentiamo in questo momento come in una situazione molto critica.
People, including our company,
le persone
are creating technology,
stanno creando
machines.
tecnologie, macchine.
The Vatican is concerned about the ethical implications of artificial intelligence and plans to hold 2 major meetings on this issue in the coming months. In 2020, Brad Smith will participate in one of them. In addition, Microsoft has announced that it will give an annual award for the best doctoral thesis on artificial intelligence at the service of life.
As a result, they will meet again at the end of February to sign the call for ethics. John Kelly III, Executive Vice President of IBM, will also participate.
Issues like facial recognition are extremely important. There's also the question of asking companies how they're using our personal information. Companies like Microsoft and IBM contacted Vincenzo Paglia, president of the Pontifical Academy for Life. They feel the increased importance of ethics in technology. Companies that are sensitive to users' needs perceive the responsibility technological progress brings.
For now, only Microsoft and IBM intend to sign the call for ethics. The Vatican says if other companies want to join, they are welcome. David Sassoli, President of the European Parliament, and Ku Dong-yu, Director General of the FAO, will also attend the signing.
Well, the Pope himself didn't make it to the February conference this year because he was sick, but he did send a message along, a backing speech read on his behalf at the conference. According to this Reuters article, the Rome Conference was the latest example of the Vatican trying to stay ahead of the curve on technology and social issues in order to influence the pioneers of the future regardless of their religion. Vatican officials have said they could provide material for a possible papal document on AI, much as meetings with the scientists helped shape the Pope's landmark 2015 encyclical on the protection of the environment.
And having seen what has happened to the tech sector, what's happened to private business, how states have used and misused information technology, are you confident that we human beings as a species are going to develop autonomous, quote-unquote, thinking machines in a responsible way?
I think you've just asked what may well be one of the single most important questions for our generation of people. Because think about it in the terms that you put it. We are the first generation in the history of humanity that is giving machines the power to make decisions that historically could only be made by people. If we get it wrong, every generation that follows will likely pay a price for our mistakes. Does that mean that we should be optimistic or pessimistic? I actually think it means we need to be determined. It is of just fundamental importance that we get these issues out on the table, we enable people to understand them, we start to bring together not just technical people from the tech sector, but people from broad communities to really come to terms and enable us, especially among democratic societies, to put laws in place that at least increase the probability that we will get this right.
I wonder how many of you are aware that there is an alliance committed to improving lives through digital identity, and it's called ID2020. At Davos, Switzerland, the World Economic Forum in 2018, a 2020 alliance, which is a private-public partnership committed to improving lives through digital identity, announced that Microsoft, Mercy Corps, Hyperledger, the UN International Computing Centre and Accenture became partners in an alliance called the 2020 Alliance. Microsoft donated $1 million to the effort, but it was the Rockefeller Foundation that launched the ID2020 Alliance with an initial grant. Now you can see on the alliance2020.org website that the founding partners were Accenture, Gavi, Microsoft and the Rockefeller Foundation. There's subsequently more general partners, but those were the founding ones. And according to the ID2020.org website, this is critical for accountability and governance, and that it will be persistent, something that you get when you're born and it remains with you for life, this digital identification. In other words, Big Brother, the government, can track and trace you, and just like Aaron Russo warned when he was told by Nick Rockefeller that they will have, or they want to have, the ability to be able to switch off your ability to buy and sell, should they so choose. And of course the Bible warns us in the book of Revelation that this is coming as well. So this is from Microsoft Central Windows. Microsoft, the ID2020 Alliance, Universal Digital Identification and you. Last year, Microsoft joined ID2020, a global alliance whose goal is to create universal digital identities for everyone. Now, this was written in February 2018, so last year would have been 2017. Participation in the modern economy, the ability to buy and sell, attain employment, healthcare, social services, and more are virtually impossible without a digital identity. In May of 2016, at the United Nations headquarters in New York, ID2020, an alliance of governments, non-profits, academia, over 150 private sector companies and the 11 United Nations agencies collaborated on how to provide a unique digital identity to everyone on the planet. According to the Alliance's governance material, by 2030 it aims to have facilitated the scaling of a safe, verifiable, persistent digital identity system consistent with the Sustainable Development Goals agreed upon by the United Nations. Its short-term focus toward that goal is the development and testing of the best technological solutions for digital identity and working with governments and other entities for the implementation. And we see that the United Nations in 2015 made a global commitment to provide a legal identity for everyone by 2030 with global connectivity and using blockchain technology, and consumers to have a seamless and secure digital experience. In its announcement confirming its position as a founding member of the ID2020 Alliance, Microsoft shared that it, developers and alliance partners would be collaborating on a blockchain-based open source identity system. This system would allow interoperability of people's apps, products and services, cloud providers and other blockchains and organizations. And it's all about our global community and economy. The Alliance 2020's goal to provide a universally accepted identification system for everyone on the planet. And it's very interesting if we go right down to the end. As more and more transactions become digital in nature and are built around a single global identification system supported by Microsoft, the question of who will govern this evolving global community and economy becomes relevant, especially, now note this, since non-participants in this system would be unable to buy or sell goods or services. So Microsoft's Brad Smith was talking about how they better get it right and having meetings with the Pope, and yet here we have Microsoft pioneering and spearheading the ID2020 program, for which nobody will be able to buy or sell without being part of their digital identity system. Now, why should we trust Microsoft if that is the case? Remember those old infomercials? But wait, there's more. Microsoft's strange body activity data cryptocurrency patent. Last June, Microsoft Technology Licensing filed an international patent for an odd design that uses humans to mine cryptocurrency via their physical activities, as opposed to using computer-related mining device. This sketch is officially called the cryptocurrency system using body activity data. The design includes a brief abstract description which explains how it will function. Human body activity associated with a task provided to a user may be used in a mining process of a cryptocurrency system. A server may provide a task to a device of a user which is communicatively coupled to the server. A sensor communicatively coupled to or comprised in the device of the user may sense body activity of the user, and so on it goes. But this is where it gets really interesting. The publication date of the patent shows up as March 26th, 2020. And perhaps more interestingly, the publication number is WO 2020 060606. Take away the zeros, and that is 666. And of course, the global elites like to never let a good crisis go to waste, such as with the coronavirus pandemic. Here we go. Quantum dots deliver vaccines and invisibly encode vaccination history in skin. Researchers headed by a team at the Massachusetts University of Technology, MIT, have created a microneedle platform using fluorescent microparticles called quantum dots, which can deliver vaccines and at the same time invisibly encode vaccination history directly in the skin. The quantum dots are composed of nanocrystals which emit near-infrared light that can be detected by a specially equipped smartphone. Tests using the platform show that QDs delivered to samples of human skin were still detectable after photo bleaching that simulated 5 years of exposure sunlight, and they remained detectable for up to 9 months when tested in rats. Which takes us to this. 60-strong self-sovereign identity group targets COVID-19 immunity passports and credentials. By Ledger Insights. The COVID Credentials Initiative has launched to use digital identity to address the spread of COVID-19. The aim is to develop immunity passports and much more. The group includes individuals who are part of Evernym, ID2020, Uport, Dutch research organisation TNO, Microsoft, Consensus Health, and consultants Luxosoft. So far, at least 69 have signed up. So, biometricupdate.com has this article a couple of days ago. Device-based biometrics for immunity passports in the dock, while payment card market revs. Immunity passports are a hot topic in the global identity industry this week, and fingerprints, both in terms of payment cards and the safety of common systems, was a subject of major interest in the biometrics community. The importance of getting the details of any immunity certificate system right is expounded in a report by ID2020 Ed Dakota Gruner, who says biometrics could be used for security as long as they stay on the user's device to keep the sensitive data private. But it shouldn't take a lot of imagination to see where this is going. Rather than on a phone with an app, you can see the bio-dot technology and marking it into people being the ultimate aim here. The quantum dot technology uses something called luciferin or luciferase. Bioluminescence has proven an elemental tool in biological research. Scientists have harnessed the power of naturally occurring bioluminescent reaction into reporter assays where a luciferase enzyme produces light upon the addition of a light-emitting substrate. Luciferase is a generic term for a class of oxidative enzymes that produce bioluminescence and is usually distinguished from a photoprotein. The name was first used by Raphael Dubois, who invented the words luciferin and luciferase for the substrate and enzyme respectively. Both words are derived from the Latin word lucifer, meaning light bringer. Raphael Dubois was born on June 1849 and died in January 1929, and he was a French pharmacologist known for his work on bioluminescence and anesthesia. And while I do find it interesting that luciferase is being used with quantum dot technology, and it is kind of interesting when you start thinking Mark of the Beast technology, we've got to remember it's not a new term, it's well over 100 years old. But also, incidentally, while people like these ID2020 people are pushing for this type of biometric identification, and we have people like Bill Gates pushing for development of vaccines for the coronavirus, we have the WHO, the WHO, on the opposite side of this, warning against coronavirus immunity passports. The World Health Organization has warned against issuing immunity passports to people who have recovered from COVID-19, as there is no evidence that they will be protected from a second infection. The idea of issuing some form of certificates to people who have been sick with the virus on the assumption that they would be immune to reinfection has been gaining ground in many places. But in a scientific briefing note, the WHO warned that there is currently no evidence that people who have recovered from COVID-19 and have antibodies are protected from a second infection. So we've really got to wonder about the big push and drive for a vaccine for the COVID-19. So folks, I hope you found this short video helpful and interesting. Give it a thumbs up if you're watching it on YouTube, and don't forget our website is aminutetomidnight.com. Visit it and bookmark it. And if God's willing, we will see you with some more videos and shows in the very near future. Until then, till we see you next time, God bless, have a great week and stay safe.